name is Ansa Alabra. I'm a dating and relationship coach for ladies. On this channel, we aim at raising significant ladies by sharing high-value secrets that can enable them build all-round success in their lives, careers, and their relationship. Therefore, I welcome you on board. Today, the information I'll be sharing with you in this video will transform your dating and marriage life forever. I can promise you that. In this video, I'll be sharing with you secrets of men when it comes to relationship. And if you can apply these things I'll be sharing with you, one thing I can assure you is that your dating life will never remain the same. Please, if at the end of this video, you actually gain value, I want you to do me a favor. Go ahead and share this content with your friends and families, and then invite them to be part of this community. And I'll be grateful if you do that. And if you're just joining us for the very first time, all you need to do to be part of this community is just simple. Just click the subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell. And that is just simple to be part of this great community. So in this video, I'll be sharing with you how to become a challenge to a man, how to give a man mental challenge in a relationship. And I can assure you that this will be one of the best videos we've watched this year. As a way of introduction, I want us to understand 3 important things about men, and which will help us in understanding what I'll be unraveling tonight. So number 1, I want you to understand that a man's brain is wired towards seeking and solving problems or challenges. Number 2, men are goal-oriented. They focus on one thing per time. Men are usually hunters by nature, and they love sports. Let's look at how these 3 things play out in a relationship. Let me also say this before we go into the video proper. I want you to understand that if a man wants to defeat a fish, all he needs to do is to pull the fish out of the water. And if a fish wants to defeat a man, do you know what it does? It pulls that person into the water. I want you to take hold of this analogy and give me your rapt attention. Now get this. When a guy is trying to woo you, do you know what happens? The man invests his resources, his time, and every other thing in the early days of the relationship just for one thing: to bring you out of your comfort zone to his own comfort zone. Now let me explain what it means. He wants to bring you to a place whereby he's going to have 100% control of you. You see, at the early days of the relationship, the guy can put up call and say, babe, how far? Are you coming over? At that time, you could just tell him, no, you can't even see me this week. It's going to be next week or 2 weeks' time. The guy will be begging you, please come over. You know, I'm missing you. You know, I love you so much. Sometimes he can even call you on phone and say, babe, I love you. And then you say, thank you. He say, I love you. You say, thank you. Now, at that point, he's trying to woo you. He wants you to succumb to him. He wants to bring you to a point whereby he will not get any form of resistance from you. You come to a point whereby you are at his beck and call. That is what the man wants to achieve. Down the line, you hear ladies say, oh, initially you were so loving, you were so caring, and now I can't find those things that you were doing before. Let me shock you, ladies. All that the guy was doing early in the relationship was simply a bait. Just like a man puts bait on the hook and then throws it into the water, all he wants to achieve at the end of the day is for the fish to swallow it so that he can pull it out of the water. So every other thing a man does early in the relationship is simply to pull you out of your comfort zone to a place he's going to be in charge, where you cannot tell him no. I don't know if you are getting these things I'm trying to say. So get this. If you can remain in your comfort zone and pull him to your comfort zone, the relationship will be balanced. Why did I say so? I started by telling you that men are hunters. Men want to chase. Men want to conquer. Men are goal-oriented. Men love it when you give them challenges. So the relationship is always balanced when he is playing towards your own comfort zone. Now, what happens most of the time is this: when he's able to persuade you through his care, through his love, and brings you out of your comfort zone to his comfort zone, he now looks at you over time. That intriguing thing, that challenge that you were giving him before. Oh, when are you coming? No, I'm not coming today. No, I want to know it's next week. No, please, you're choking me. I'm not comfortable. All those things you were saying when he was trying to woo you, now that he has brought you to his comfort zone, there's no more challenge anymore. That's why I started by telling you the qualities of a man. So any woman that is able to maintain being a challenge to a man will keep him interested throughout the relationship. When I say throughout, I mean including marriage. So in this video, I'll be sharing with you tips of what to do to constantly give him the needed mental challenge in the relationship. If you're ready, let's set the ball rolling. So now, before I list out this point, let me start with this quote. Whatever you cannot lose, you cannot gain. You see, when you go into a relationship with a mindset that, oh, this guy is so important that I can't afford to lose him, then get ready to lose him. If you go in with the mindset that you are ready to lose him if he doesn't meet your requirement, then I tell you the truth, you won't lose that guy. Most of the time, ladies get it wrong when they feel, oh, this guy is so important, I don't want to let him go. Oh, I want him to marry me. Oh, I need him so much. The moment you cling onto it so importantly, let me tell you something, that relationship will not last. But the moment you relinquish it, say, if it works out, glory be to God. If it doesn't work out, glory be to God. I move on to another man who will love and take care of me. You see, if you have that mindset in a relationship, then men will not treat you anyhow. When the guy knows that this relationship is not a do or die thing, do you know something? He will cherish you. When the guy knows you cannot take shit and you can leave him at any moment, what? You will put him on his toes. The guy will make sure he keeps you. But when you try to, oh, let me see how I make this relationship work, that is when you will lose him. So don't forget it. Whatever you cannot lose, you cannot gain. So how do you become a challenge? Or how do you give a man the needed mental challenge in a relationship to keep him interested? So number one, don't be quick to say sorry. Yes. Don't be quick to apologize. In a relationship of two people, any of the party who wants peace, who wants reconciliation, who doesn't mind compromising just for peace sake, take it from me, it is that person who craves for the relationship more. So in your relationship now, who craves for the relationship more? Are you the one always seeking peace? Hey, I don't want the neighbors to hear it. I don't want this misunderstanding to prolong. I don't like it, this mood. When you are the one always trying to make peace, it's a clear sign you are the one craving for the relationship. So the relationship means more to you than the other partner. So let me say this to you. If you are in a relationship that you always say sorry, just to maintain peace, I tell you the truth, you can't give him the needed mental challenge. I'm not saying don't apologize. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm simply saying is this. When you say sorry too often, you lose the place of giving him that mental challenge. I made a video on never beg a man again. I'll put a link here and also below this video. Please, I would advise you immediately after watching this video, go and watch that video. It will give you an idea of what to do in a relationship. I was having a conversation with my wife somehow about something, and then at a point, she said something that was annoying. And immediately, I kept mute. I was surprised. Why was she going to say that? And from that point, I never said a word to her again. Now, under normal circumstances, when you are having a conversation with someone, and then you said something, and all of a sudden the person kept mute and never talked again, at least it will ring a bell in your head that likely the last statement you said was provoking, right? And let me tell you how my wife handled it. My wife ignored me. She knew I was angry. She ignored me and focused on doing other things. But let me share with you, as a high-value woman, how do you solve issues like that? Immediately you say things like that, and the guy is like, he's surprised or he's angry. You know what? Just ignore as if you do not know what actually transpired. Allow him later on to come and meet you, say, oh dear, actually, I wasn't comfortable. Actually, what you said was provoking, or what you said was demeaning, or what you said. Allow him bring up the topic later to you. And then, do you know something? Just look at him and say, okay, I'm sorry. And that's why I say, please watch that video. Never beg a man again. To give a man mental challenge, avoid saying sorry quickly. Please don't get it twisted. I'm not saying when you mess him up, you don't say sorry. That's not what I'm trying to say. But make sure sorry is one of the last thing you say. I don't know if I'm communicating. If what I'm saying doesn't make sense, please, I want you to brood on it. I believe over time you'll understand what I'm trying to say. Now to the second point. Never allow a guy decide what you get in love. What do I mean? If you have an idea of how you want to be loved, please don't allow the guy to rob you of that opportunity. Yes. Communicate it as clear as you can. This is how I want to be loved. And get this, I'm not saying try to change the guy. That's not what I'm trying to say. Because the moment you think you want to change him, he will rebel like a teenager. And all of us were once teenagers. When our elderly ones wanted to control us, how did we react? So the moment you show the guy that what you're trying to do is to control him, he will rebel. But simply state it. If you want to be with me, this is how and how I want to be loved. It's so clear. And this will eliminate him giving you substandard treatment. Because he knows you know what you want. In other words, you raise the bar for him to meet up. This is the standard I'm setting. So if you want to be with me, then you have to meet up. I don't know if I'm communicating. Now, to achieve that, then you need to set boundaries. What are your do's and don'ts? What are the things you can take and the things you can't take in a relationship? These are very, very important. And then make sure you are able to be assertive. What do I mean assertive? If the guy breaches these boundaries, what are the consequences of his actions? How do you enforce your boundaries? How do you make sure he sticks to the boundaries and doesn't cross them? These are very, very important, because when you set boundaries, as men, we also like to test how rigid is these boundaries. If we discover we tried the first time, you did nothing, we tried the second time, and let me tell you something, we will even graduate to a level whereby we'll physically abuse you. So a lady who understands boundaries and makes and ensures that the man treats her the way she wants, gives him the needed mental challenge, puts him on his toes. So now to the next point. Give this guy freedom. To give a man the needed mental challenge, give him his freedom. I know a lot of ladies may find this thing troubling, because most ladies think it's by being clingy, by nagging, by showing the guy you're obsessed about him, by going to check his phone, by going to see who he's chatting with. When the guy is sleeping at night, you begin to check his phone. You think it's by doing these things that you checkmate the guy. Let me tell you something. A low-value woman is insecure. That's why she goes ahead. She's jealous, so she's clingy. She wants him around. She does this. Oh, who is he chatting with? Who is this lady? Why is he laughing with this? Oh, even to allow him have time with his friends, she wants to cut him off from his friends. These characteristics are characteristics of low-value women. And let me tell you something. You cannot box a man and think he's going to marry you. High-value women are women that give their guy freedom. Go and do what you want. Why? Because she's so sure. She's confident of herself. She knows who she is. But low-value women, hey, I need to protect my property. I need to. How many ladies that try to protect actually protect? You can't protect your property. But do you know something? To whom much is given, much is expected. When the guy knows that you give him freedom, his own freedom, you don't antagonize him, you don't monitor him, do you know something? The respect he will have for you will be higher than any other lady. 2, when a lady gives the man his alone time. One thing I love about my wife gives me time alone, like be on your own. Sometimes she'll call the children and all of them will be in the parlor, and she will allow me stay in the room. Let me be alone. Men value such times. When you allow us have our own freedom, we will value you. But when you think you want to cage us, we will rebel like a teenager. The next point is being mysterious. I've shared this over and over again in my videos. But let me say this to you. If a man cannot predict you, you become a challenge to him. Today, you are crazy about him. You are all over him. And tomorrow, you are telling him, no, I plan to spend the weekend, but I've changed my mind. I'm going back home. He said, what's the problem? What, is there anything I did wrong? But yesterday, you were all over me, telling me you love me and whatever. He said, yes. Today, I'm not comfortable. I just want to go back home. Please, allow me go. The guy will just get confused. What's wrong with this? Like, did I do anything wrong? The guy will now say, okay, let me see how I'm going to figure this lady out. Why? Because you are mysterious. I don't know if I'm communicating. So being mysterious is also a good way to give the man the needed mental challenge. So the last point I'll mention is practicing self-love. See, some people are good at giving good things to everybody, but hardly spend money on themselves or hardly do good to themselves. Please don't do that. A man will never love you beyond the way you love yourself. So self-love is simply about loving yourself. It's about having time with your inner self. It's about eating good. It's about buying the best clothes for yourself. Let me tell you something. The guy noticed that all you buy for yourself are designers. Let me tell you something. If he's going to buy you clothes, do you know what he's going to do? He's going to go for a designer. Why? Because you have showed him how much you love yourself. But if he discovers that you don't even love yourself, he will not even love you. So he can't love you beyond the way you love yourself. So self-love is one sure way to give a man the needed mental challenge. Please, if you've gained value, I want you to go down to the comment section and tell one thing you got from this video. And then if you have any question, please leave it there and I'll surely reply you. And then I think I have to call it a day here. And don't forget that I love you and take care of yourself.